ABC 10 News at 4 starts now.
It's the start of a big test for San Diego County. Crowds pour onto the only beaches still open in Southern California.
It's devastating, thinking that we might have to close again.
Businesses watch the traffic in disbelief as rising cases threaten their recovery. Plus, professional baseball is back in San Diego. And just as the Padres retake the field, we're learning one of the newest Friars has tested positive for COVID-19. But first, the question on everyone's mind, will a surge in visitors lead us to another shutdown? Good afternoon, I'm Lindsay Pena in for Kimberly Hunt. With those concerns looming, we're seeing packed beaches as San Diego begins the holiday weekend. This while the state keeps a close eye on our case numbers. As ABC 10 News reporter Mimi Alcala shows us, lifeguards are prepared for the busy weekend.
We are definitely seeing a lot of crowds come in.
The recent spike in COVID-19 cases across San Diego County isn't stopping beachgoers from enjoying the 4th of July weekend. Here's a look at Mission Beach. Locals and visitors have claimed their spots and lifeguards are keeping busy.
No capacity restrictions. There's still plenty of stand, right? There's a lot of space available, but it is filling up in the dense areas.
Rich Stropke is a Marine Safety Lieutenant for San Diego Lifeguards. He says what has limited beach capacity in the past is the ability to park.
How far are people willing to park and still walk to the beach? Are they going to Uber in? Are they going to do drop-offs?
Governor Newsom ordered all state beaches in San Diego to close their parking lots, and in Oceanside, city leaders decided to close off its own beach parking as well to minimize crowding. Although other parking lots weren't closed down,
I'm certain that all the parking lots are probably filled up by now.
Stropke says so far not everyone at Mission Beach is following the rules.
The majority of them are not wearing masks, I would say, at this point in time.
Law enforcement agencies across the county have on extra staff, but they say their goal is to focus on education rather than enforcement when it comes to facial covering requirements and social distancing. Under the latest public health order, all restaurants must close by 10 p.m. and indoor bars, wineries, and breweries that don't serve food shouldn't be open at all.
Come talk to us. We want to give you the ins and outs of the beach, keep everybody safe, and have just a wonderfully happy 4th of July.
Mimi Alcala, ABC 10 News.
There is also a beach hazard statement in effect this weekend. Lifeguards say they're expecting dangerous rip currents and elevated surf. They ask that you swim near a lifeguard stand and keep an eye on your children at all times. Oh, let's get right to Jennifer De La Cruz, who is tracking those conditions right now. Hi, Jen.
Hey, Lindsay. It looks like it is really going to be a beautiful weekend as far as our sunshine goes. No cloud coverage whatsoever. However, the surf is going to be an issue for anyone heading to the coastline. That beach hazard statement already in effect, and that's going to take us all the way through Monday morning. This will be peaking tomorrow into Sunday, which of course we are expecting a lot of people to head out to the beaches. So make sure you're surfing or swimming near a lifeguard. We're looking at surf between 4 to 6 feet, but we could see sets upwards of 7 feet. The best chance for that is going to be north of Encinitas. Another problem is dangerous rip currents. So once again, please be careful in the water. And we're already seeing a lot of people heading out to our coastal areas. No shortage of people enjoying their Friday afternoon in Del Mar. As we take a live look out into the ocean. Beautiful conditions out there. We're seeing a very shallow marine layer, so we did not have a lot of cloud coverage this morning, clearing to beautiful skies in the afternoon. And even for our Inland Valleys, 4th of July celebrations there, nothing but blue skies. So overall, it has just been beautiful today, and we have more of that beautiful weather in store for the 4th of July holiday, Lindsay.
All right, thanks, Jen. As those crowds pack the beaches, another main concern is local business this weekend. San Diego's rising case numbers will determine what can stay open and what must shut down again. As ABC 10 News reporter Rena Nakano explains, that uncertainty is taking a financial and emotional toll for local restaurant owners.
Open, close, open, close. We're not talking about a revolving door. We're talking about the state's rules on indoor dining.
It's devastating, thinking that we might have to close again.
You can see the worry in Charlie's family restaurant owner Susan Malika's face.
I haven't slept in 2 nights.
When the quarantine began in mid-March, the 28-year-old Escondido diner had to shut its doors. They tried takeout, but it just wasn't for them. Then came the good news on May 21st. With new cleaning and social distancing protocols in place, they reopened, and their loyal regulars came back.
The food is great, the prices are great, the atmosphere is great.
It's like a family here.
We're worried a lot of them might forget about us after we were closed for 2.5 months. So they've been just wonderful. They're glad to be back to some sort of normalcy.
But that normalcy didn't last too long for diners in 19 California counties. On July 1st, the governor declared that every restaurant in counties surrounding San Diego had to again stop indoor dining. So far, San Diego is clear from that list, but Malika is worried we're next.
If restaurants are following every single protocol, they shouldn't be penalized.
Compared to their large dining hall and banquet room, Charlie's only has 4 outdoor tables, not nearly enough capacity for the beloved family diner to muscle through another forced shutdown.
I keep saying it's the Twilight Zone because it's just unbelievable.
Rena Nakano, ABC 10 News.
Now, the owner hopes everyone follows the state's guidelines so San Diego County can stay off of the state's watch list. She says the goal is not just for them, but for all local restaurants to keep their businesses afloat. Within the last 45 minutes, the Padres revealed their new star outfielder tested positive for coronavirus. General Manager A.J. Preller says Tommy Pham tested positive when he arrived for the restart of training camp, which began today at Petco Park. Preller says Pham is asymptomatic and feeling fine. Pham will now self-isolate until he is clear. At that point, he and the team will consider whether he can start playing. Preller says Pham is the only positive test so far. And within the last 30 minutes, it was revealed that East County sports hero and racing superstar Jimmie Johnson has also tested positive for coronavirus. The El Cajon native is in his final season before planning to retire at the end of the year. A spokesperson for Johnson's team says he was tested because his wife recently tested positive after having allergy symptoms. His positive came back today. He is reportedly not showing any symptoms. Johnson says he'll drop out of this weekend's Brickyard 400 and return to racing when he's cleared by a doctor. Another new milestone in coronavirus cases in the U.S. This time, it's a global record. Numbers for Thursday reached over 55,000. That exceeds the previous single-day record set by Brazil about 2 weeks ago. The total in the U.S. stands above 2.7 million. Brazil has the next highest level of cases at over 1.5 million. Russia rounds out the top 3 at around 660,000 cases. More states are putting mask mandates into effect starting today. At least 19 states and Washington, D.C. are now ordering residents to use face coverings in public. That includes Texas, where the mandate applies to any county with more than 20 coronavirus cases. In West Hollywood, anyone without a mask could receive a fine of up to $300. A recent study found masks are the most effective way to prevent person-to-person transmission.
We're getting an update on the potential for generic drug shortages and rising costs because of COVID. An expert with the online pharmacy Honeybee Health tells us companies have hiked prices of almost 250 drugs by 24% since the virus hit. Dr. Jessica Nuavandi says the market is still volatile.
Patients are still hoarding medications and prescribers are still kind of being pressured by patients to prescribe certain things so that the patients can keep them at home. And so we're still seeing that happen right now.
Her biggest concerns are for respiratory drugs and hydroxychloroquine. That's the drug that was touted as a potential treatment, but the FDA ended up pulling its emergency use authorization. Dr. Nuavandi says since Dr. Anthony Fauci said this week that we could see 100,000 new COVID cases a day, studies on hydroxychloroquine have started up again. That's a problem for the rheumatoid arthritis and lupus patients that rely on it every day. Nuavandi says she's also concerned about low-income Americans losing their jobs and thus their insurance, feeling like they can't get the medication they need.
They think just because they lost their coverage, they can't get access to. And we want patients to know that it's important to stay on their regimen, to not, cut their dosages in half, and that there are options out there for them.
Options like Honeybee Health let you get prescriptions delivered with little or no insurance coverage and sometimes at a lower price. Nuavandi says the only thing that may drive pricing back down is competition because the U.S. doesn't have an entity that regulates the cost of medication. But when it comes to drug shortages, there isn't much patients can do.